being a son of a rabbi who taught me that man is created on the image of God, and going to school where the teacher told me that man is an evolution of a monkey, just a better animal, I was caught in this conflict, and it took me years to realize, after reading over and over again the Bible, that man is made on the image of God as long as he is creating. As God is the biggest creator of this universe, and man extend and participate with God in the creation. But as long as man imitate like a monkey, is a monkey man, and have nothing of this sharing quality with God. And every man feel the necessity to share in the creation. And that's why I participate, the spectator, in the creation of my work. Looking, finding, touching, moving, dialoguing with me at the highest spiritual level.
I so love carving. It seems to me the most rhythmical and marvelous way of working on live and sensuous material. I think of all the activities, it is the most rhythmical. The left hand, as it were, does all the thinking, holding the chisel, and the right is merely a motor, and one gets a very easy rhythm which allows one's thoughts completely free rein as one tries to make the forms and contours which will express oneself.
One of the things I would like to think my sculpture has is a force, is a strength, is a life, a vitality from inside it, so that you have a sense that the form is pressing from inside, trying to burst from inside itself, rather than having something which is just shaped from outside.
The chicane is a series of dangerous S's tied bumpily together. A lax moment or a broken wheel would spell disaster here at speeds well over 120 miles per hour. This is a hairpin turn. During yesterday's practice, the drivers made note of the last spot at each turn where they had to gear down, hit the brakes momentarily, and accelerate out without losing control.
The fountain at La Défense Quarter in Paris is located at the end of the Triumphal Avenue, starting from the Louvre, continued to the Concorde and to the Arc of Triomphe to terminate at this point. And from this point you could see the whole avenue. And it was a question what to put there. People wanted to put a sculpture, but this would stand on the view. I was looking to find a sculpture, a monumental sculpture with the expression of water, a moving, dancing, changing water that can stream out with sound and music and dance and explode and become alive like firework, and which could express to see the sound, an expression that is hardly conceivable and which in the Bible is written that the people in front of Mount Sinai have seen the sound. And when you are in front of my fountain, and see the masses of water jumping and changing, streaming, running with the sound, then this idea became more visible, what the Bible intended by the meaning sing the sound.
France. Geometric, precise, neat. Nature is nourished, shaped, and beautified by man's design. France is Paris. Paris, the heart, the core radiating her magnetic strength and love for thousands of miles, attracting kindred hearts from Russia, Italy, Germany, the Americas, and all. École de Paris, no longer a school or type of painting, rather a unity of all schools and all artists who come to Paris.
One of the 5 boys was my brother Dan Shea. I was only 15 years old at the time. I remember when he was arrested, my mother was in an awful state. And I remember that night, she had us all praying that he would be spared. And then the news came, some fellow came with the dispatch, saying your son was killed this morning. He was taken out of prison and placed in a landmine. And then I remember something awful. My father came into town and my mother, and they wouldn't give over my brother's remains. But for the parish priest, he said, I'll get your boy's remains. It was something awful, a nightmare I'll never forget. If only men were more just and not to be killing one another and taking up arms, what a difference it would make in this world. Oh, the injustice.
At 16, I considered myself lucky to be alive, for 3 of my close friends had already died of senseless brutality. And I was lucky that I hadn't killed someone myself. Yet, as the train sped along, the telegraph poles whizzing toward and past us, I had a feeling that I was escaping a doom which had already trapped the relatives and friends I was leaving behind. For although I was departing from this beautiful land, it would be impossible ever to forget the fear, hatred, and violence that we Negroes had suffered upon it. When Alan, my grandson, visits me, I think of his future and of my past. My mother had freed me from the curse of inferiority long before she died by not allowing me to take refuge in the excuse that I had been born black. Now, when I think back to my years as a railway waiter, a flophouse porter, and a piano player in a brothel at 16, I know what I don't want for my children or their children. And I can only hope that the weapons they choose will be tempered with love instead of hatred.